see, and it's far from black and white.
We've hit the baker's dozen on Stu's Wrestling Podcast, and this week I've got the oldest rookie, Stu Tompkin, on the line. Stu hails from Chester, but he now lives in North Wales, and it was an absolute pleasure to get Stu on. He's been watching wrestling longer than me, so he had some great stuff to talk about the early days, where he used to watch it, which you'll find out as you listen to today's episode, who his favourites are, who he gravitated to. He's very much into mid-card wrestlers, as you'll see, not the big guys that you always hear people talking about. He likes mid-card wrestlers. There's an affinity for them. So yeah, here we go, episode 13, my lovely, loyal listeners. Well, it's my honour and privilege to have on for episode 13 of Stu's Wrestling Podcast, Stu Tompkin, the oldest rookie and newest referee in Britannia Wrestling Promotions. How's it going, Stu?
Not bad, Stu. Yourself, mate?
Stu and Stu. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, mate. Now, I'm obviously going to get into how you've become a referee as we go along, but I want to know, when did you first start watching wrestling? I always open with this. This is my opening line every time.
When I first started watching, well, it's going back, I'll say a long time now. Probably when I was about 10, so 34 years ago. Used to watch World of Sport with my dad every Saturday. So that was the initial watching wrestling back then. In the old days, Johnny Saint and Pat Roach, Kendo Nagasaki, Big Daddy, Giant Haystacks, all that lot, really. Bit of
Alvida Zane Pet there with old Pat Roach.
Oh, yeah, indeed it was.
Yeah, there we go. Great show that was. Who were your favourites? I know you've listed a few that you watched there. Who were your favourites in World of Sport?
To be honest, no one really, because at such a young age, you just watch it for what it is. Big guys beating each other up then before you knew any better. But obviously, I got to witness some of the British legends. Obviously, I watched Johnny Saint, McManus and them, and they were just like doing things which were, you see now and you're like, wow, how have they done that? So it was just people like that just drew the attention to wrestling back then, and it was just fantastic to watch. Like I said, I was fortunate. I probably would have been about 12 or 13, and World of Sport was on down at Deeside Leisure Centre. They had a show on there, and I met Big Daddy, Giant Haystacks, and a couple of the others, and that was it. And that was sort of what gripped me into wrestling.
Awesome, man, awesome. Did you get into WWF at the time, or WCW?
They came along. WCW came along a little bit later on. But WWF, I probably started getting more into. Well, I probably got into it. Probably would have been about 16, so probably about 1990. A friend of mine that I met through school, he was living on the local barracks, RAF Sealand. His dad worked there, so we were fortunate enough we were able to go into the NAFI and watch all the pay-per-views back then. So obviously, Survivor Series 1990 was a big one on it. So
Taker,
that's really where the WWF came along then. WCW was sort of slightly before that. I remember seeing Surfer Sting before. Obviously, he went the other way. So it was sort of a mismatch of them all. I never really preferred one over the other, and then it just sort of evolved. WWE became bigger than everything, didn't it? So
I bet it was cool watching the pay-per-views in a big group in the Navy as well. I bet it was brilliant.
It was never a big. It was never a big group. It was just the two of us. We just basically had free roam. Yeah.
No one else was there.
The
no.
OD said right there. No. The NAFI's like, yeah, you can go have the room up there, because obviously we were like two 16-year-old lads. And all the squaddies and all, now watching that, we're going to play snooker and everything. So we literally had the free roam. The people in charge of the NAFI come and lock up after the show's been on.
Bloody brilliant. No, that's an interesting answer. Interesting answer. I haven't had that before. So yeah, man. Who did you like around that time over in America? Who floated your boat, Stu?
I was always, I varied through different stages, but I've always been sort of slightly accustomed to the darker side. So obviously Taker, when he came along, seeing him in 1990, was like, oh my god, what's this guy? This is just awesome. But obviously before then, I was watching more WCW, so it was like the Steiner brothers were just phenomenal. Things they were doing were like, how have they just done that? You're seeing the Frankensteiner and stuff like that, and like their moves that you shouldn't be doing. Because before that, it was just sort of big striking moves, and then next thing the Steiner brothers are doing these Hurricane Runners and Frankensteiners and all this sort of stuff, and you're like, that's not real. So sort of that they sort of hooked me big time, and they sort of took me on this ride of tag team wrestling, and obviously when you saw watching WWF, then you had Legion of Doom and that, and I was just hooked.
Awesome.
But for single wrestlers, the single wrestlers, obviously the Taker was the one, because he was Survivor Series, one of the first ones I watched as well, so that really sort of drew me in. It was like, wow, what's this person? Who is he? It's like, wow, and it just took me on a ride. Obviously, from then to now, it's always been there. I don't think I've missed a WrestleMania where he's been on it. Unfortunately, never seen him live, but I've seen every single one the Taker's been on. So
I've been lucky in that respect. I won't go into what I've seen, but I've heard some of your previous podcasts, so I know you've seen a couple. Yeah, I've been very lucky in that respect to see. Obviously, I won't list them. You've heard them. It's not about me. So, yeah. Who else did you like? Just maybe extend on it. Who else?
Like I say, I was never really chasing one wrestler. I just loved watching what was going on.
Yeah.
Through the years, there's been certain wrestlers probably outside of the norm of what normal people like. I used to love Hardcore Holly. I thought he was just phenomenal at what he did. And everyone goes, Hardcore Holly? I said, his standing drop kick was probably...
Yeah.
They go on about Randy Orton's, but Holly's was probably the greatest standing drop kick, I thought, at the time. And so people like him always go sort of, wow, you're mad. Steve Blackman is another one. Just things that they did made them different to everyone else. I was never sort of mainstream. Excuse.
You were more like the lower card and the mid card guys then.
Yeah. I've never really sort of jumped on the bandwagon as such of the big card, the main events, and that. It's always been the ones doing the graft at the bottom end that sort of went, wow, that was something different.
Both tough guys as well, as we've heard many times.
Yeah.
Hard as nails.
Oh, totally, yeah.
What sort of matches?
I say that.
Carry on, Stu. I keep jumping. You carry on what you were going to say. Sorry, mate.
No. I say, they had to do. They were doing something different outside the box, really, weren't they? And like I said, some people called it stiff, but people know you'd made contact and you were doing it right. Some people like that, some people don't, but they all had their own style. But Hardcore Holly and Blackman, they were doing things that others hadn't done. And then Blackman had some exceptional matches with Al Snow as well, because they were chalk and cheese. They did things totally different to each other.
Good. They had good careers. Hardcore Holly was there for numerous years, wasn't he?
Yeah, totally.
He had a long career there.
And like I said, then
carry on. I keep jumping in.
Yeah, so we both could. Yeah, obviously then he had the run with the hardcore title, which sort of basically made Hardcore Holly who he was, and then they brought in Crash Holly, and the storyline sort of drifted off a bit, didn't it? But I think he was a mainstay for a good 10 years, really, Hardcore. Without being main event standard, he was putting out decent matches, in my opinion. So.
What match types did you like then? And you can go back to like the 80s, the early 90s if you want, or more current.
Like I used to love the World of Sport matches. Where it was sort of 3 5-minute rounds and that sort of stuff. There's just something a little bit different about that. Whereas now it's all one fall. When you do go for, it just shows a little bit more. Not more stamina, but thinking outside the box. Is it a point win? Is he trying to get a technical win? Rather than just a smash in your mouth and try and get a quick pin. So that's why sometimes I prefer like the 2 out of 3 falls and that sort of thing, where there's a little bit more to it.
Yeah, a bit more depth. Yeah, that's fine.
You can probably tell more of a story in the 2 out of 3 falls than you can in a single fall, can't you? So it's
they've just had
work an angle. You can work a body part a lot longer.
They've just had it on this week's NXT UK, haven't they? They've done the old rules match, which is it was good. It was good to see. And
I think they're going to do more stuff like that. I think to just keep people more interested, and because it does get a little bit repetitive, some of the stuff. So they've got to spruce it up with old ideas, as daft as it sounds.
It's good for the American audience to see that style, though, I suppose, isn't it?
Oh yeah, TNA, I say, well, Impact, they tried something similar, didn't they? They had the Grand Champion or whatever they called it a couple of years ago. And that was a 3-round match, sort of 5-minute rounds. So you can win a round, lose a round, and still go on to win the match, or you can lose 2 rounds and win the match. So it was a sort of a twist on the old British style. But they sort of lost the way a bit with it. But it was a good idea what they were trying. It just didn't seem to get everyone's juices flowing, so to speak.
Right, I'm going to go into your career now, because you've not been reffing long. But what are the origins for you getting into the business yourself? How did it come about?
Right. I'll have to take this back a bit. 21 years old, so 23 years ago, I stood in a nightclub in Wrexham with a group of lads I played football with and said, I fancy a go at that wrestling, and they all call me an idiot, a clown, a buffoon, you name it, I was called it. What are you going to do that for? Blah, blah, blah. So I sort of laughed it off and didn't think anything of it, because there's no schools about at the time, wrestling schools as such, so went on the back burner. Then my eldest lad was born not long after. A couple more kids come along with, got married, jobs, blah, blah, blah. In any case, last year, I took the youngest lad to watch EPW. It was probably the year before, actually. Went to watch EPW in 2017 at Chester. Nick Aldis was on it. Magnus, for those that don't know who Nick Aldis is.
Yeah.
And there was a wrestler on there, a masked wrestler, and he was doing stuff off the top of the cage and stuff, and my lad's like, wow, look at him, he's amazing. And it turned out to be Pyro.
Yeah.
Pyro turns out to be a local lad that went to school with my eldest lad. So we found out he was on Britannia shows, so next thing I took me lad to watch Britannia shows, and we basically went every show for a year. And then they said, oh, we got a wrestling school. So, yeah, I'm a bit long in the tooth for that now. The next thing I see this seminar with Johnny Saint. I fancy going to that, not being knowing what's going on. I think seminar, questions and answers, that sort of thing. So my eldest pays for my 44th birthday present to go and have a seminar with Johnny Saint last November.
Brilliant.
A week before the seminar, I get a message. Don't forget to bring your training kit. Training kit? What do I need training kit for? So my first ever training session in a wrestling ring was with the British legend Johnny Saint. And it was like, wow, that was something special. From growing up watching him at 10, 11 years old to actually having a first training session with him. Now, a lot of the lads that were there on the day, the likes of Joey Marcus, Dougie Matthews, I'll call him by that name, but obviously you got Matthew Douglas and, excuse me, and Zach. They were there on that day and said, why don't you come along on Thursdays and give it a go? So I started going to the North Wales dojo in Real, Britannia Wrestling, every Thursday. And here we are nearly a year later, still going. In the meantime, we've done some carnivals through this year and what have you. I ended up refereeing at some of them. Got involved with the Rumble match this year. Was asked to be a referee outside the ring. Eddie Dennis kindly put a chair over my back because I told him he was eliminated, which is a bit of a buzz, really. Eddie Dennis, WWE NXT UK star, you're out. Whack, chair shot. Nice one. I thought, you know what, that's ace. I really buzzed off that. And then from there, done these carnivals this year. Steve Saxon, founder of Britannia, Pitbull, they both sort of said, do you fancy having a go at the reffing? There might be a spot coming up, complications certain people need to do there. I said, yeah, I'll give it a go. So the Alpha Gen tournament a couple of months ago, I refereed my first couple of matches, and I've done a couple more since, and love it. It's something different, something I never thought I'd do. But yeah, really enjoyable. Really enjoyable. Fair
play, mate. Fair play. I just to take it back to what you're saying, I obviously looked when I was younger at training, but it's the same scenario as you had all them years ago. Didn't have the schools. Yeah. We didn't have the schools, did we? These young lads now are so lucky. It's brilliant. It's brilliant for them, and it's.
That's it, mate. That's it. You'll have to get yourself down one week, Stewie. It's only down the coast, and it's not a million miles away. Get yourself down on a Thursday and have a training session with us.
They'd run rings round me. You'd run rings round me. But
that's what I thought 12 months ago.
Yeah. It's incredible. Like fair play.
The invite's always there.
I might have to take you up on it, you know.
Get yourself down, give it a go. You know, it's one of them things you think, and you'll experience things. You go, how'd you do that? That's not right. You shouldn't be able to do that. But you know, it's just like wow. And then, like I say, it's on the start of November this year. It'll be exactly a year since I started.
Brilliant,
And
mate.
I'm just loving it, mate. It's just such a buzz. Some of the people you meet, it just takes you on board. You know what I mean?
Who do you like? I know you don't need to, you know, have favourites and all the rest of it, but who's very good on the local scene in your estimation?
Basically anyone that's appeared on the on Britannia Wrestling's Alpha Gen show is next level. They are going to take British wrestling forward without a shadow of a doubt. You're talking the local guys of Zach and Matty, and then obviously you've got the guys from over in the Wirral, you know, the likes of Craig West, Paradox, who were just phenomenal. You got Connor, Rye, the two Ryes, and Leighton. They're just as a faction, there's something about them. I don't think they'll be hanging around too long. I think they'll be going places them for as a faction. And Matty and Zach, the work they put in and the training, you know, there's so much potential right across the local scene and further field. Obviously, the Liverpool lads and the Manchester lads, they all work so well together. I just think the future of British wrestling it's in safe hands with these guys at the moment, to be honest.
Craig West made a valid point. He said everyone wrestles differently when he's been having these matches.
Yeah, totally. I mean, refereeing, you get to see it a little bit more, you know, and you know, like this style, that, and this style, but the styles clash, but they work so well together. I mean, I had the fortune of reffing Craig versus Dougie Matthews the last Britannia show. Two totally different styles, but the match, it was seamless. It was, you know, you got Craig doing coffin drops on chairs outside the ring, and then you got Dougie seeing it off with a ripcord clothesline, and you know it just works. Doesn't matter if the styles are a million miles apart. The way they've got these lads are telling the stories at the moment is just fantastic, to be honest.
I can't wait to see what happens. I just, you know, just hope they all get to the top of the business. Like it's now's the time, isn't it?
Oh, totally. Totally. I mean, there's so much potential. Like I say, with the schools that are there at the moment, the talent coming through them, you know, the world's the oyster for these guys these days. You know, a couple of years, I'd say some of the guys that I've seen at Britannia, I'd be amazed if they're not on NXT books. You know, you got your Alpha Gen champion Jack Griffiths. He's doing stuff over. He trains with Marty Jones, and some of the stuff he's doing is, I'm watching it going, that defies gravity. You shouldn't be able to do that. But he does. And then you got other guys around at the moment that, you know, they're spreading their wings, they're travelling about. They're not just doing stuff in this country, they're going abroad. So, you know, everyone's there. I mean, like I say, I'll go back to Paradox again. The four lads of different styles almost, but they come together as a unique group, and it just works. And I'll be interested to see where they go over the next few years. I think there's potential as a faction, purpose built, to go somewhere and do something big.
Just to you know, widen it. Who you like in over in America, in the States, Japan? Who you know, established talents now? Who's floating your boat there?
I have various styles. You know, not styles. If someone does something that I like it. You know, so I mean, there's, you know, you can't not like Will Ospreay. You can't not like Pac, Flip Gordon, Marty Scurll. You know, people like that are doing things that I think they're all outside the box. They're doing things differently to everyone else. Over in America, you know, various people do various things well and differently. I mean, you go WWE, NXT, and all that sort of stuff. I love Aleister Black just because he's one of these dark sort of characters. I'm loving the angle Bray Wyatt's going at the moment with The Fiend and all that. I think that's really exceptional. It's whether they allow him to play it out properly. That's the problem with WWE. I think if he was at Ring of Honor or AEW or somewhere else, they may give him more scope to twist it a little bit. I think the reins might still be a little bit too tight in WWE, but time will tell on that one. As of Japan, I don't watch much of New Japan on that, to be honest. I mean, I don't get to see much wrestling. Hectic lifestyle, kids, and everything else. But I watch what I can when I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just one of them. I love, obviously, again, it's another tag team, the Lucha Brothers. But I saw obviously Pentagon and Phoenix as solo competitors first, and I just love what they did. I used to watch them on Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Obviously, before Ricochet was there as King Pew or Prince Pew Money, and you had Johnny Cage and all that lot over there as well. And obviously, they're over on Impact now. So, just interesting how they're all sort of moving around a bit, but they're all ending up at the same places at the same time.
There's so many. Oh, it's crazy. Like you say, it's trying to watch. It's trying to watch everything, isn't it? There's just not enough hours.
Totally,
not enough hours in the day, is there?
No, I mean, I was fortunate. I went up to Glasgow the other year for Fear and Loathing 10, and that was exceptional. I mean, I was at the Hydro. What night that was. And then fortunate to end up in the cat house with them all for the after show party. And obviously, I met BT Gunn, Jester, Jimmy Havoc. I was fortunate to have a chat with Lionheart. God rest his soul.
Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah.
But what a fantastic bunch they were. I had a seminar earlier this year with Lewis Gervin and Joe Hendry, and they said, where would you go and what match would you like to do if you had the chance? And they said, anywhere in the world. I said, anywhere in the world with any group company. Went, yeah. I said, I'd love to have a triple threat at ICW with BT Gunn and Jack Jester. And they're like, really? I went, yeah. He goes, could happen. I'm like, it's one of them things that could happen. Not likely to happen, but could happen. But, they're the sort of guys, because I've met, and you can sort of put yourself in their shoes because you've been lucky enough to meet them and have a drink with them, or they're almost real. They're a real person rather than someone you just see on telly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
As that sounds.
I get you. No, I get you, man. I've obviously met a lot of people over the years. Yeah, majority, absolutely brilliant. There's been the odd knobhead, but it's they're few and far between, aren't they?
That's it, innit?
But
you know the ones that want to talk and those that don't.
In the main, the pro wrestlers are brilliant with the fans. They have to be.
Yeah.
We
Well, it's their bread and butter, innit, at the end of the day.
We pay the wages at the end of the day, so
that's it, innit?
That's it.
Totally.
Stu, some tips on reffing, if you would.
Tips on reffing.
Just for
I'm
someone
still
who
getting tips myself.
Like
I say, I haven't had many matches, so all my information so far has come from Max, Jonathan Goodman, James Greenwood. I've had been talking to them, getting some tips off them. Obviously, the likes of other wrestlers, and that I've spoken to them. Tips: speak to the wrestlers before the match. Just get the lowdown. Anything you need to do. Anything that the ref's participation. There's things you need to know. Obviously, what each person's finish is and what you're looking for there. But personally, I think for a good ref is keep out of the way. If you're not having to do too much, or if you're not having to get in the way, if you're in the way too much, you spoil the flow. So just keep the space. Know where they're going. So if you know which corner they're going to feed into and what have you, it helps to stay out of their way. So allow their match to flow as much as possible. But I mean, tips I was given. Make sure you've always got a towel ringside because it gets hot in that ring no matter what you think. And get yourself a watch because you need to keep an eye on the time.
Right. Okay.
Because obviously every match has got a certain time limit.
Yeah.
Have a watch, time it, and just make sure you talk that to the wrestlers and tell them how long they've got. Because sometimes in a match you can just flow and before you know it, you're eating your time up and you still got half a match to go, but you've only got a quarter of your time. So it's just talk to them. As simple as that. But yeah, stay out of the way and let them flow, and they'll do all the hard work. You just got to do the tidying up, basically. Do you have to be conscious of all the cameras at events, or does that not?
does that not play into it?
Well, we have our camera and we have roaming cams at Britannia. I mean, like I said, I've only done Britannia shows at the moment. You know where they are, but if you start getting over-conscious about a camera, then I think you're going to then get in the way of the wrestler, because they're going to feed to a camera, they're going to feed to us. They're going to feed to a corner, and if that's camera side, then that's fine for them. But if they're going to the other corner, you're going to have to be in the way of the camera. So I don't worry about it too much. If it happens, it happens. It's more of making sure you're not spoiling the overall, the show, the view of the fan. If you're still in the same spot all night, then the fans are going to be like, well, I haven't seen because the wrestling stood there. So you've got to make sure you're moving enough so you're not blocking someone's view, in my opinion.
What events have you got coming up, Stu? What's on the old timeline?
Well, I haven't got my name out there as of yet, but we've got a Britannia show on the 5th at Frith Beach. I think it's called Against the Odds or something like that. I'm terrible with names. That's another big show. Sort of Alpha Gen. We've got a sort of Money in the Bank sort of gauntlet match going on. There's tag team matches. There's a contract signing between the Dogs of War, which is Pitbull and Dave Faulkner, and they'll be taking on 2 of the members of Paradox. But that match is actually taking place the next night over at Wrestle Island, where the Dogs of War, the Paradox are sort of based over it that way. That's one of their main strongholds, so to speak. Because our last Alpha Gen show, there's probably about 15 to 20 Wrestle Island fans came over to support Paradox, so it's so we're probably going to return the favour and head over that way and support Dogs of War. So that should be an interesting one. But yeah, the night before we got a show on at Frith Beach, so it's tickets still available. Get in there soon. But yeah, it should be a good show that on the 5th. All going well. I think I'll be there refereeing a couple of matches again.
Nice one.
Might get my name out there and see if anyone else needs us.
That's it. Like spread your wings, hopefully, mate.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. And if I'm about, and if I can help out, I'm always happy to help. Like I say, I never went into it to be a ref.
No.
The main reason I always wanted to do the wrestling. I was a little bit old, and I thought I'll do it for my fitness. And it's just sort of progressed to where we're at now, and I'm loving every minute of me lad. He's 11. He started going training on a Saturday to RWA in Runcorn with Andy Baker, cracking wrestling school, especially for the younger ones. And people like Rabbit Riley, Harry McKenney, Matt Fox, they take the young ones from like age 8 up to like 13 and teach them the basics and how to do everything safely. Unfortunately, I coach my lads' football team as well, which play on a Saturday now, so he started coming with me to Britannia on a Thursday. So he loves it as well. So as long as he's still interested, and he keeps my interest going and my buzz. So it's turned into a family thing.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I love that. It's great, mate. Stu, just going back a bit now. What were your favourite pay-per-views years gone by?
Favourite pay-per-views? Survivor Series has always been a one. When they had the proper Survivor Series sort of matches.
Yeah.
The 5-on-5, and love them. Because it go either way, the outcome was never what expected half the time. But then I sort of went off the boil with that because it got predictable. Then all of a sudden we had this elimination chamber, and I was like, wow, what's this all about? And something about that where it's a little bit edgy, a little bit more extreme than normal. But I think I'd probably go towards the more extreme matches, the TLCs, your ladder matches, your cage matches. If you want to start throwing in monster ball matches with Abyss and stuff like that, I like something a little bit more extreme than your standard match, to be fair.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I liked AJ Styles and Abyss, like 2005. Some of the cage match.
Back then, yeah.
I'm trying to think of the name of the pay-per-view, but it was when they were in the cage. Oh my, unbelievable, incredible.
Yeah, they did a couple though, didn't they? Round about then, and they had like the Monsters Ball match, and then they had the Halloween mask matches, and they're just phenomenal what they were doing back then, because the size didn't make any difference. I mean, the way AJ worked at the time, it was just next level back then. Never mind now.
Yeah, man. He's in a backstage capacity, isn't he, now, a bit?
Yeah, that was a strange one, that. But same with Jeremy Borash. He's backstage somewhere at WWE, from what I heard, wasn't he? So he's got a lot of people going from that. Well, you get a lot of wrestlers going from WWE across to Impact. It seems that the backstage, a lot like Borash and some of the others, come the other way. So there's obviously something there. Like Jeff Jarrett, I think, has got his say in a couple of things these days as well, hasn't he, since he's been accepted back. So
yeah,
be interested to see where that goes.
Yeah, it will be. What about favourite matches of all time, Stu?
God,
Sorry.
God. Probably one of my favourite matches. I mean, I'd say countless Undertaker ones are always up there, but probably the one that stands out would be the Undertaker Triple H one. It was WrestleMania. It's at the end of an era.
Yeah.
Did we lose you?
We dropped out, but
yeah.
It was just you were up to the end of an era.
Yeah, I think that was a phenomenal match. Obviously you ended up with Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Undertaker on the top of the ramp. And almost you wanted to wish it was the end of the era, and they sort of stopped there, but they keep coming back, and I think it's losing its appeal, so to speak. Like I say, there's been other matches which have been right up there without even trying to be. But obviously, you go Hell in a Cell, the phenomenal, the one everyone remembers, Taker and Foley. I was just watching that when it was live. I was like, oh my God, what's happened there? He's dead. And then for him to get off and carry on, it's like, that's just ridiculous. But some of the matches I've enjoyed Ultimate X matches in TNA.
Yeah.
They're just mental. You get like Amazing Red, Low Key, Sanjay Dutt, P.D. Williams, all at their best, and obviously you throw in Sabin and Shelley. You're probably talking some of the best high flyers who didn't actually make it, almost. And some of the matches they put on over there are actually phenomenal. And like I say, not something I could do. High flying, not really in my repertoire, even though I try a moonsault.
Do you?
But, you just got to. I'm trying a moonsault. Standing moonsault off a. I'll go for a Vader bomb into a standing moonsault, which is quite different.
I shouldn't have said that. I should have said bloody hell, fair play to you. Because I wouldn't bloody try it.
It's just something I thought. You've got to try something, haven't you? So that's what it was. I was trying to work something different, and I thought, Andrade does a moonsault. I'll do a Vader bomb moonsault. So I'm just trying to get the moonsault straightened up now. That's the main problem. But no, it's interesting. It's keep working it. He'll get there eventually.
I'm my favourite of all time is Bret Hart. I've obviously said this on previous episodes, but
several times, yeah.
Oh my, meeting him. Oh my God, I couldn't get my words out, believe it or not, which is a bit crazy, really, because I like to talk.
Well, they sometimes say don't meet your heroes, don't they? Because that can happen. You're like that, and it's a strange one, isn't it? You meet someone you've always wanted to meet, but you can't say one thing that you want to say. So I can imagine that would have been a bit frustrating as well for you.
Scott Steiner, I was absolutely bricking it going up to him. He was one of the nicest blokes I've ever met. You hear stuff, don't you? Like his reputation precedes him, and then I met him. He was brilliant. Like sound chatted away.
You find that in the local scene, though. So you hear so many things like you don't want to don't like it, don't like him. Well, half the time you find out they never even spoke to him.
It's just bollocks.
You can't say that about someone until you've actually spoken to. You know what I mean? That's how rumours start, and and I'd rather get it straight from the horse's mouth than the third party information these days. It's like Facebook gone wrong, isn't it?
It is a little bit, yeah. I was just going on to some current stuff. Just like some of the stuff you read, like that Meltzer's written Especially in regards to Luke Harper. I put a little thing up today. He won't be back, blah, blah, blah. He's back with the company. He'd never left. He'd never left, but, people... You think people have got insight when, the likes of Meltzer? He's got no insight on that because he's got it wrong.
Yeah, it's just... He's heard a rumour somewhere along the line, hasn't he? And he's sort of dragged it out of proportion again.
This is why I won't... This is why I'll just do interviews, you see. I don't want to be doing, stories. I just can't be arsed with it. Because half the time, it's wrong.
That's it. If you're going to do something like that, you've got to put, I believe, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Make it's only what you're thinking, it's not fact. But then you say something like that, and then someone goes, what do you mean, in your opinion? How's that right? And it goes wrong any case, so you just keep it to fact and just see how it goes.
Do you think Bray will get the belt, or do you think his character supersedes the belt? Just to go back to Bray, 'cause you said you like the Fiend character.
Oh God, don't know where they're going to take it. Don't know. Obviously, I'd love to see him with the belt, but how they're going to do it, I don't know. Who they're going to let him take it off? There's so much story to be told still, isn't there? And obviously, is he going to have a proper feud with Balor or the Demon?
It's got to happen.
That's another story, isn't it?
It's got.
But the Demon's never lost.
Yeah.
Finn Balor, the Demon's never lost, does it? So it's like, how are you going to pull that one off?
I think that's a WrestleMania. I think that's a WrestleMania next year.
Yeah.
That's when I would save that for, and I'd like to think they would.
Yeah. But you're going to throw it into the mix. If you're going to go for a totally dark storyline, you may as well throw in Aleister Black and, well, let's have the Undertaker in there one more time. 4 of the darkest entities in the WWE.
I tell you what, Stu, I just can't believe he's still going. I know it's only, it's very fleetingly when he's in, but I thought after 30, I was there for that. I thought he was finished.
Yeah.
I thought that was that,
It should have been. But it's... then that one with Goldberg wasn't pretty.
Oh no!
Unfortunately,
he was very pissed off. Apparently, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was a combination of a lot of things. Obviously, it was really hot out there, but it's, you don't want to point fingers or accusations at either, because they're both legends of the sport, basically. But unfortunately, it wasn't the prettiest of matches it could have been. It probably was 10, 15 years too late. But they're the sort of matches that I don't want to say that they're not the smartest cookies out there, but they're the sort of matches they want to see because they're the names they want to see.
They're throwing that there's a lot.
Maybe a Kevin Owens, Sammy.
Carry on, Stu.
Sorry.
No, carry on. I'm jumping in.
Said maybe a Kevin Owens. Yeah, maybe a Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn match is great for the mainstream to watch, and everyone's like, yeah, that's a good main event. Because to be fair, they could pull off a great main event. But in Saudi, maybe they don't. Those names don't hit them. That's why we're getting the Triple H matches, and that's why we're getting the Goldberg Undertaker matches, because they're 10, 15 years behind where everyone else is. So they want to see them matches. Maybe in 10 years' time, the headline event out in Saudi Arabia will be Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, the likes of the ones that should be doing it, that are doing it now. They'll be doing it then, just to allow them to catch up. That's just sort of my opinion, as I say. I just think maybe they are that little bit behind because maybe they've been restricted on the viewing over the years and not seen it, so it could be for them catching up to where they want to be. Or maybe it's just the names that everyone wants to see once and that's it. They'll get to see them once and that's it.
It's just how lucrative it is, but obviously it's pulling in more money than WrestleMania, isn't it? But it's not necessarily. They're not very good, are they? The cards, in my opinion.
No, and then you do the greatest Royal Rumble of all time. Like, yeah, okay, but you allow, politically allowing someone from the area to win it. Yeah, it's a strange one, but yeah, it's all for ratings and merchandise sales and everything else. I'm not being hypocritical. It's a business at the end of the day. they've got to do what they've got to do. But sometimes for the general fan, they're going, they wouldn't find the chance of winning that, to be honest. But that's how it goes. What's best for business, as they say.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, bad or good, yeah. That's the moniker, innit? But
so
yeah.
That's it, innit?
Right, Mr. Tompkin, the oldest rookie and the newest ref in Britannia. Thanks for coming on for episode 13. I appreciate your time tonight.
No, thanks for having me in episode 13. Very apt because it's my lucky number as well.
Have you got any social attachments, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook that you want to plug before we go?
No, I've just got my own Facebook at the moment, and I haven't really looked at anything else at the moment. I'm probably there's an app out now in there, Turnbuckle or Babyface or something wrestling. You've
got to get on that.
It's got all the local wrestlers on apparently. Yeah, I'm on it, and then I've just seen that they do the refs as of today, or yesterday I've seen that, so I'm going to get myself on that. I might set up a Twitter just for me refereeing or something and keep that separate to my own personal stuff, because obviously I do football and stuff. But yeah, nothing as of yet. But if you need to see me in action anywhere, Britannia Wrestling Promotions, I'm normally there. Good
stuff. So once again, thank you, Stu Tompkin, coming on for episode 13 of Stu's Wrestling Podcast.
Take me back to the play of paradise where we were.